Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. Read by Daniel Weyman. Chapter 1. I was born in the year 1632 in the city of York, of a good family, though not of that country, my father being a foreigner of Bremen who settled first at Hull. He got a good estate by merchandise, and leaving off his trade lived afterward at York, from whence he had married my mother, whose relations were named Robinson, a very good family in that country, and from whom I was called Robinson Crusoe. But by the usual corruption of words in England, we are now called, nay, we call ourselves and write our name Crusoe, and so my companions always called me. Being the third son of the family, and not bred to any trade, my head began to be filled very early with rambling thoughts. I would be satisfied with nothing but going to sea, and my inclination to this led me so strongly against the will, nay, the commands of my father, and against all the entreaties and persuasions of my mother and other friends, that there seemed to be something fatal in that propension of nature tending directly to the life of misery which was to befall me. My father, a wise and grave man, gave me serious and excellent counsel against what he foresaw was my design. He called me one morning into his chamber, and expostulated very warmly with me upon this subject. He asked me what reasons, more than a mere wandering inclination, I had for leaving my father's house and my native country, where I had a prospect of raising my fortune by application and industry. He told me it was men of desperate fortunes on the one hand, or of aspiring superior fortune on the other, who went abroad upon adventures, that these things were all either too far above me or too far below me, that mine was the middle state, which he had found by long experience was the best state in the world. He bid me observe it, and I should always find that the calamities of life were shared among the upper and lower part of mankind, but that the middle station had the fewest disasters, and was not exposed to so many vicissitudes as the higher or lower part of mankind. After this, he pressed me earnestly, and in the most affectionate manner, not to play the young man, not to precipitate myself into miseries which nature and the station of life I was born in seemed to have provided against, that I was under no necessity of seeking my bread, that he would do well for me, and endeavour to enter me fairly into the station of life which he had been just recommending to me, and that if I was not very easy and happy in the world, it could only be my own fate or fault that must hinder it, and that he should have nothing to answer for, having thus discharged his duty in warning me against measures which he knew would be to my hurt. In a word, that as he would do very kind things for me if I would stay and settle at home as he directed, so he would not have so much hand in my misfortunes as to give me any encouragement to go away, and, though he said he would not cease to pray for me, yet he would venture to say to me that if I did take this foolish step, God would not bless me, and I would have leisure hereafter to reflect upon having neglected his counsel, when there might be none to assist in my recovery. I was sincerely affected with this discourse, and I resolved not to think of going abroad any more, but to settle at home according to my father's desire. But, alas, a few days wore it all off, and in short, to prevent any more of my father's importunities, in a few weeks after, I resolved to run quite away from him. It was not till almost a year after this that I broke loose, though in the meantime I continued obstinately deaf to all proposals of settling to business, and frequently expostulating with my father and mother about their being so positively determined against what they knew my inclinations prompted me to. But, being one day at Hull, where I went casually, and without any purpose of making an elopement that time, but, I say, being there, and one of my companions being going by sea to London in his father's ship, and prompting me to go with them, I consulted neither father or mother any more, nor so much as sent them word of it, but, leaving them to hear of it as they might, without asking God's blessing or my father's, without any consideration of circumstances or consequences.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?